Okay, moment of truth. How are we getting apart?
How would I get it apart?
Yeah, how are you getting apart?
Probably follow the service manual and put a puller on there that bolts to the outside of the case and pushes on the crankshaft.
Is that how you do it?
Well, I know you're going to beat it, but
Is that how they do it in factory? Yeah, so that's a lot of work.
this side's easy, unless you got an arbor press for the other side. Once it's apart.
We have an area right here that's called strong, right here. See that? If you flip it around the other way for
I
me.
was going to say it hasn't split yet, has it?
Maybe. Flip it around the other way. Okay, now where do you hit it now?
Don't say the generator.
Don't hit it right there, it'll break.
Hit it down low.
Hit it down here. It split that time. Flip it around. Piece of hammer went off too when I hit the edge. There it goes. It split. Should come off now. It's off the dowels. No, what are you doing? I didn't tell you to beat on it no more. What do you think it is?
You said it should come off.
You think it's a beating tool? Yeah, it won't come off yet. Look out. Give me a hand. Pull the motor out. Pull the motor out. Why is it binding on these studs so bad? I know the studs got a lot of glue on them.
I don't know. Trying to think of what that says right
Look
there.
at those nice, clean insides there. Well, it's dripping on the floor though. Look at all those machine marks in there. Chatter from the factory. These are nice and clean on the inside. How come they're so filthy on the outside?
Because I was trying to go green.
That looks like factory machine marks in there. Still nice and clean. Look how bright that is. That's clean. How many miles are on this motor?
54.
No, I mean since new.
54.
Since brand new. From
Oh,
Harley
don't know.
Davidson.
Never came to the speedometer.
See all the machine
It was a
marks?
barn find.
See all the nice machine marks everywhere? Nice and bright. That's not blasted, that's machined. So that's always had good clean oil in it. It never got tarnished on the inside. On the outside, it's got corrosion on it. Looks like they used 3-bond. That's why it was hard to get apart. See, when you use 3-bond, it looks like this. See, they use a lot more than I do. See how much, when you use a big thick layer of it, look how much crap you get on everywhere. Stuff like that, dingleberries hanging out everywhere. Yeah. All right. Here they have a late flywheel in here. So it's got a 74 number on it. It's a late flywheel. That means you only got 39 degrees of ignition timing on this motor. You didn't pull that screw out yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I got a timing mark on this side. What's up with that?
Let me pull that.
Yeah. What's that timing mark all about?
That tells you what time of day it is.
It might.
Wow, that wasn't even tight.
Should have been.
I mean, it was tight, but not.
Not that tight? Not tight enough for you?
Hmm.
That's not going to go back in. I do not use those.
You don't? What do you lock the nut with?
I tighten the shit out of it. And I put Loctite on it. Same thing Harley does on the newer bikes.
Well, that might screw up the balancing on it.
A few years later, the Harley discovered Loctite. But not in '75. They didn't know about it yet. That was a brand new clip.
I assume you're not going to reuse these rollers?
I don't know. They might be good. Cage looks new. Appears to have some relatively new parts in here for some reason. It's almost like it was freshly done.
You're just rubbing it in, aren't you?
Not my motor. I never get 50 miles on it. I'd like to get 5 miles on it. Ready? That wasn't all that tight. That's probably factory torque.
Probably factory torque specs, but wait. Do not beat on that.
Why?
Because that one of these flywheels has active balancing in it, which would probably be.
It ain't gonna affect me hitting on the side of the flywheel.
It'd probably be this flywheel then.
Brake free?
Nope.
Yep. Did that time. Alright, lay it over here. I'll take that screw out too. That's right, you had that fancy stuff going on this thing, didn't you? Where's your screwdriver? Yeah, that wasn't very tight. That was like half torque on that screw. Go find those crappy dikes that you were using. Pull that color T out of there.
The dikes.
Yeah, crappy dikes you're using, red handle.
The wall. I can remember which drawer.
There's an plier drawer.
Ah.
Hit it flat with a big hammer, you don't hurt anything. You hit it flat though. If you hit it at an angle, it screws the threads up. It's got a lot of wear on it for being brand new.
I'm pretty sure I'll be getting a new key.
Why?
It's just like crap
Crap.
on there.
Look at the wear on this new shaft. It's supposed to be new too? Look how tight that thing looked.
I'm gonna say yes. That's not a Harley shaft, is it?
I don't know. Could be.
Or is that Jim's?
It ain't Jim's. I don't think it's original, but it's got a lot of wear on the inside edge, and it's got a nice big scratch right through the whole thing all the way around. I don't know what's
So
up with that.
all I'm hearing you saying is the price is going up.
Well, I didn't say it was bad. I just said it didn't look nice.
This one too?
I'm gonna pull this one right here if you don't mind.
No, this one.
Well, yeah, that's coming out too. But don't hit on it. I would never hit on a flywheel with a steel hammer. That key looks good. See, this is a nice key.
Oh!
We got one tight one?
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
I did that one-handed.
Yeah. Would you strip with one hand?
Damn near.
Good. Once you get the right tools then.
Might have to use a.
And the impact knocker?
Yeah.
You know the red toolbox is up front?
Up front, where
Red toolbox. It's kind of hard to see.
where the other motor is.
Top right side of the toolbox is a impact knocker, and there's a Phillips head bit there too. I'd say I grab one of those. Alright, so this appears to be stock balancing. Use 3 is common, 4 is not uncommon. Being offset's a little bit not uncommon, that might not be stock there. But they have anywhere 3 to 5 holes right together, usually as Harley does it. Sometimes they do split them apart like this, but not real often. So, I don't know, that might be different, but it could be original. Yeah. Once again, the flywheels are really smooth and machined looking, so I don't think this motor ever had a lot of miles on it to begin with. I doubt if this thing has much miles on it at all. How many years have this thing?
What?
How many years have you had this?
Oh gosh. A little over 20.
20? You have never ever ridden a 20.
No.
So that means it only had 15 years of maybe use, and it's probably sitting for about 13 of those too, I bet. This thing doesn't look like much. This thing doesn't look like it's ever had much mileage on the inside.
I don't think this is the right size.
Would you grab it?
Well, because I didn't know what size the bolt was. My cracky.
It don't have to be the right size as long as it knocks it out. How come all my tools are full of oil now?
Prevented them from rusting.
You know, the rods can have come out a long time ago. I don't know why you got them there. So you can put all the stuff in here so we can reuse it, or we can fix it.
And put new stuff in.
Why don't you put them in there? Not the rods, the bearings. I want to see one of these here, then I'm gonna look at it. See, everything's got that wear marks in there. Look how worn that thing is right there.
They have new races.
For being brand new, they sure got some heavy wear marks in them. It's got 54 miles on it, huh? Doesn't look like every. Looks like it's. The rollers look more like they're skating instead of rolling. See, it's all smeared looking instead of rolling looking. Looks like it was sliding. What do those rollers look like? Are they round or are they square?
There's a lot of crap in there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Probably look as bad as everything else. And a lot of wear in those too. See all the lines in them? Yeah, they're still round. Have to measure them, see how far undersized they are. It gives me a judgment of how much wear is on them, but they got a lot of wear on them. Those aren't new. If they are new, they were put together way, way too tight, and they have worn really, really quickly. So how's the crank pin look? Just about as bad?
You can see some healthy wear marks on it.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
The bearings were riding.
Everything in the whole motor looks like that. That's the same kind of crap you get when you get lapping compound on the motor. It leaves heavy wear marks and everything. But this isn't from lapping compound because that leaves a gray finish. These rods are, they almost look like reproduction. They're so clean looking.
Let me ask you a question.
But they're probably original. What?
Was this in the pan? Because this was sitting in here.
No, it was in there.
Does that say 80 or 280 grit?
Well, the paper? Well, that would explain why you have a lot of grit in your motor. Yeah, there's sandpaper in there. Nice. That would explain all the wear on the shafts and lifters and cams. And yeah, I told you it looked like lapping compound, but it's not.
180, 280.
Yeah, sandpaper is not lapping compound. Lapping compound leaves a kind of like a gray, real fine finish and everything when you find it in the motor. That was more, that's more a grit.
That was more of a WTF moment.
Yeah, so who pissed you off? What were they sanding?
Moving the flywheels, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that explains why there's grit in the motor. That would definitely, because that would leave all those wear, because you can see the wear marks. It's real heavy wear where the rollers are. Over here, there's not as much load. You can see all the heavy wear in there. Yep, that's, grit will do that. Yeah, that's always fun to find in a motor. You said you didn't want me to hit on that, right? So I would never do that.
Yeah.
I think that would have popped off. There you go.
There should be.
There's nothing. There
And
you
there
go.
is. There it is.
There's the active. Yeah, the active I used to see was on the outside rim, and they said it would never come off, and I laughed. So they don't do it down the center anymore like they did back in the early 80s. Now
I thought they were supposed to do it on the pinion side.
Now they got it on the, they put a groove into here. Well, at least they put the holes back in here, or for marks. That was nice of them. Yeah. There's no way of knowing how deep it is. You don't know how much they cut in the wheel.
I know she's smooth like rubber mounted.
Yeah. I don't know. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. You gonna pull that one out and strip it out too before I pull out correctly? Or?
Yeah, I'll see if I can't screw this one up too.
While we're at it, might as well knock out the key that's in there. Right there.
Better chance that.
Hold on, don't hit on the crank pin. Well, you're probably not going to use it, but probably good practice not to beat on the crank pin side like that. It kind of screws up the thread. Get it? Got one shot at it usually before it strips it out.
Is that what Eminem said? What would you do if you got one shot, one chance?
Is that where they shot Trump?
No.
Oh.
This moment, you own it.
All right. Looks like crank pin fared a lot better than the other parts of the motor, but obviously it's probably not something we should be reusing. But, it looks like it has a lot of wear on it, a lot of miles, and we know it doesn't, but it looks like it's got about 30,000 miles on it from the wear marks, but that's not bad for 54. See, sandpaper in your motor accelerates the wear.
No, it helps it break in quicker.
It breaks in, yeah, it does break it, yes, it does do that. Okay, now this here, you hit it with a hammer. If it moves, great. If it doesn't, don't hit it no more. It moved.
That's the bearing and race that had to be replaced.
That's not a good sign either.
This does not look good.
No,
That looks like hammer dog shit.
that's called burnt to hell and screwed up. And it probably screwed the case up too. See the snap ring hanging out?
Yep.
This is what happens when you put a motor together without setting the in play. Now the spacer is in there. So we know the spacer was in there, but they never set it. They went with a factory adjustment that they said was perfect when you buy the box. And it's very uncommon to be perfect. It's either off. This one was way off. It was too tight. So that destroyed that. And that, if that race spins in the case, it screws the case up. And see these in here? This has been repaired. This has had a new insert put in this case. This is not factory.
Yeah, because last time it spun the race.
So this has already been repaired once. This case has been repaired once.
Yep.
Well, guess what? That snap ring there is supposed to be in there tighter than that. And the race isn't moving just with my thumb. That's a plus. As long as it's still got a little bit of holding power, we're good. Sleeve retainer will hold it in if it will stay put. But yeah, they never adjusted the in plate. They just bolted together and as if it was made correctly, which they rarely are.
I'm going to say that'd be shop number 1 at the coast.
So, but yeah, this has been repaired. You rarely see something like this done on a Harley motor. Rarely they replace inserts.
I can't believe that.
'Cause that's a lot of work doing that. Yeah, that's the shaft is probably still good, but obviously the rest of the
Bearings are, wow, beyond toast.
That's where a lot more of the metal is coming from besides the other metal we found. Okay, now this one here, we got to try to get this out, which is always fun, but there's the lip. Nope, that's not the lip. There it is right there. There's your tang.
Spiral?
Yes, it is spiral. So right here you put the screwdriver and you try to pop it out.
You have a small awl.
I have all kinds of tools. See, I just go like this, see? See that? It's better if you have more than one hand, though. No, you want to get on behind the other side, underneath. No, you have to be under here, lift it up. Just lift, there you go. It's a two-hand operation, but see, one's working the camera.
Take it up.
Now you just pull this way with it as you unroll it. That pulls it out of the groove and it'll roll right around. So you just go like that, see? You just go back and forth like that.
You must have been like a TV repairman or something.
And see how it's damaged? It's been oversprung for some reason. I didn't do that, but someone did it. Yeah, I would replace the rubber seal because it probably has some grit in it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking of replace that. It's optional though, but
Oh yeah, there's grit in there. I just cut my finger.
where? I don't see no blood. See, that's why I had this shiny surface I didn't look at yet. I saw something out here that looked different than stock, but I didn't really look at it yet. That's because it's steel instead of aluminum. Okay, I'm thinking that seal we probably won't be using again. You don't think there's some more stuff in there, do you?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay, now this, I don't like to beat these out because they can get sideways and it breaks the piece. So I usually do that in a hydraulic press, push it straight out. Hopefully it works. That's heater coiled. That one is probably too. All right, so remember how much money I told you this was going to be?
Double it.
It went up slightly.
So rebuild the 76 iron head.
So this has 54 miles of
Or
gentle riding.
Or should I go buy a brand new Ultra Classic for the same price?
Yeah, buy an Ultra Classic. So what do you think has more damage? You think the sandpaper or you think the improperly installed bearing caused the most damage?
I'm gonna say improperly installed bearing.
Nope, sandpaper. Because that's got the tappet rollers, the lifter blocks, the cams, all the moving parts. That just screwed up that. So that's $120 bearing there. That's all that did. It might not have hurt the case. Probably 50-50 on that. I think it doesn't move yet, so I think it's probably okay. But all these other parts has got wear in it from the grit. Now you can clean it all up as best you can. Hope you get all the grit out, and then put it back together and be able to rebuild with those parts, and hope you get all that stuff out. But all of those parts are now basically got like 30,000 miles on them.
New.
So
go new.
That means it's time to make a decision whether you put new stuff and start over, or you continue the clock at 30,000 miles, even though it's only 54 actual real miles. But that's what happens when you find sandpaper parts in your motor.
And the bearing is too tight.
But see, lapping compound would not have been nearly as much. It's easier to put in the oil tank, and it does more damage quicker. Because you get about 100 miles with lapping compound on the motor, and there's nothing left of it. It's got deep grooves everywhere. Not that I've ever seen that before, but you know, it does happen. All right, so there you go. So it's a nice, quick transmission repair, just like the 61 Sportster was, except it got worse. What a shocker. And we haven't even got to the top end yet, which is over there.
Oh, don't just let's just keep stay over here.
We're going to stay at the lower end part for now? Okay,
Sure.
We'll save that for another video. All right, we're going to clean all this stuff up. We might come back, we might not. We'll see.